Hi everyone.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, have you guys read
Good evening, guys.
PBL 2?
Yes.
Yes, I have read the question.
Yes.
Have you done your research?
Some of the question, but not all.
Oh, okay. Me too.
Yes, me too.
Me too.
So guys, let's start the meeting first. Okay, it's finally out. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, I can see your slide.
Okay, so I'm going to start first with the first question is explain 4 advantages of database management system. So DBMS generally manipulates the data itself, the data format, field name, record structure and file structure. It also defines rules to validate and manipulate this data. So basically what I found on the advantages of database management system, first is the scalability, which means that a system can expand, divide or downsize easily to meet the rapidly changing needs of a business enterprise. For example, if a company decides to add data about secondary supplier of material, it uses a new data table that can be added to the relation database and linked with a common field. Secondly, this DBMS also support for server system because in a server system, processing is distributed throughout the organization. Server system require the power and flexibility of a database design. And the next one is economy of scale. Since database design allow better utilization of hardware, if a company maintain an enterprise-wide database, processing is less expensive using a powerful mainframe server. Instead of using several smaller computers, the inherent efficiency of high volume processing on larger computer is called economy of scale. So flexible data sharing, data can be shared across the enterprise, allowing more and user to access more data. A database can be highly flexible, allowing user to view the same information in different ways. Okay, next I'm gonna continue with the question B. Based on the above entity, identify the primary key for each of the entity. What is the purpose of assigning the primary key? A primary key is a field or combination of fields that uniquely and minimally identify a particular member of the entity. Okay, for this question, first they ask for an employee. Okay, the primary key is the combination of the employee ID and IC number. Since both of these is a unique and minimally identify the entity. Okay, for the second one, for branch ID is the unique primary key because there are no two branches that can have the same ID. Okay, next is for position code is the primary key because there are no two position that can have the same code.
Okay, so I will share my I will share my slide.
Okay.
So, can you guys see my slide?
Yes.
Yes. I can see it clearly.
Okay, so I will continue with question 1C, which is the question as to specify the the relationship between these entities and draw the entity relationship diagram, which is ERD, to illustrate the relationship. So I have read this topic in our textbook. So here the diagram. Here is the first one. There are too many relationships between branch and employees, where one branch can employ many employees, but only one employee will be stationed in one specific branch. Okay, for the second one, they also one to many relationship between the position and employees, where one position can allocate to many employees, but each employee will be appointed in one position only.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so I will continue with the next question. So the question asks to discuss three characteristics of access. The second one is ease of use, and the third one is multiple platform. So for global access, the internet infrastructure and standard telecommunications that is user friendly and easily learned. And for the third one, multiple platform, web-based design is not dependent on for global access and multiple platform. It is important to have internet connection. Okay, so for now that's all from me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Moon.
Okay,
Moon.
I will stop presenting.
Okay, so
Okay.
now it's my turn. Can you see the slide?
Not yet. Okay.
It's commonly used for system design. Okay, the first code is sequence codes, numbers or letters assigned hidden indication of order of entry into the system. For example, when you are a new workers and you enter the company, the number can be random after certain numbers. Okay, next is cheaper codes. Is a used keyword to encode a number. For example, in a retail store, they might use 10-letter words such as campground to code wholesale prices, where the letter C represents number 1, A represents 2, and so on. Okay, lastly is action codes. It indicates what action is to be taken with an associated item. It is a reminder of some future event or action important to the case. For example, a student records a program might prompt a user to enter or click an actions code such as D to display a record, A to add a record, and X to exit the program. Okay, now I will explain to you the next question, which is compare and contrast three types of network topology. Here is hierarchical network, bus network, and ring network. Firstly, I will explain to you about hierarchical network. The advantage is the departmental servers control lower levels of processing and network device. But the disadvantage is if business add additional processing level, the network become complex and it is so expensive to process. If there's no advantage is If the central bus is damaged or defect, it will shut the entire network. So the overall performance will decline, and it will make the traffic work. The data flows in one direction from device to the next. It can be thought as bus network. With the end, it is connected. But the disadvantage is if a PC or server fails, the device downstream from the failed device cannot communicate with network. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Amni.
Welcome.
Okay, everyone. Now I will continue for the database design, which is me and our friends, which is unfortunately cannot join us for today. And okay, Encik Hakim proposed to database for payroll management system by using Microsoft Access. Sorry. And I'll present the first question, which is the start page. So now I will start presenting my screen. Wait, so this is the first question asked for a start page. So as you guys can see, this is the start page for Lestari Perdana Berhad, which contain the company's logo, Lestari Perdana Berhad Sdn Berhad, and there is also the contains two button, which is enter and exit button, which when we click the enter button, we will enter the entire payroll management system, and when we click exit, we can automatically exit from the system. So I will proceed to the next slide, which is the question asked for the main menu for the payroll system. So this is the main menu, which also include the company's logo, Lestari Perdana, and also there's to the forms, query and open reach. This is to navigate through the Lestari Perdana Sdn Berhad. As for to create 3 more forms, which are the employee form, branch forms, and which contain the company's logo, Lestari Perdana Sdn Berhad, and the details of the employee, as you can see from the slide. And also, the question asks to create 6 button, which is you guys can see the 6 button is under the company's logo, which is there's next button where you can proceed to the next employee. And also there is a back button when you can go to the previous record. And there's a save record, exit, print, and also create a new report, which you can add a new record. Now I proceed with the branch form. So this is the branch form. As you can see, the details of the branch forms. And also there's a 6 button. The next button, back, save record, exit, print, and create a new record. Now I will proceed to the third form, which is the salary slip form. So as you guys can see, there's also 6 button under the company's logo. Next, back, save record, exit, print, and create a new record, and also additional drop down menu button, which is this is the combo box, where you when you click the drop down menu, you can select. It will pop up all the employees in the company, and you can select any employee you want, and then when you click it, the employee salary slip form will open. That's all from me. Thank you.
Regarding Shahira, she actually have sent videos to share it with you guys. Because she also had done some research and start up on the PBL too. So I think we'll see her video.
Okay.
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 Hi. Sorry everyone, I can't join you guys for the quick meeting. So here is my explanation for PBL2. Let's enjoy. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope that all my friends have a good day and a great day. Okay, I will continue the explanation about this PBL. I do my part to do queries, reports, and create a dummy table. So, how I do queries and how queries work. Okay, I will show you guys. This is how queries work. I did 3 queries, which is EPF deduction, net salary, and total salary. What did I put in queries for EPF deduction is employee ID, employee name, and EPF. So this is the EPF deduction for queries. And next is net salary. What I did in queries for net salary is I put employee ID, employee name, salary, allowance, EPF, and net salary. Why did I put salary, allowance, and EPF is that is the calculation, which is salary plus allowance minus EPF, you will get the net salary. Okay, next. Next is the total salary. For queries, I put employee ID, employee name, salary, and allowance. Salary plus allowance, we will get total salary. Now we will go to the next question, question 5, which is they ask for reports. So here is the reports. First is EPF deduction with other relevant info. What did I put in this report is I put a employee ID, employee name, IC number, contact number, position code, branch code, and EPF. So next they ask is list of all employees with other relevant info. So I put employee ID, employee name, IC number, date of birth, gender, and address. So a little bit more info is here is contact number, contact person, position code, and branch code. So this is what I put for relevant info for list of the employees. There is the list of employees. Here is it. So next is in reports, I put they ask for net salary with other relevant info. So I put employee ID, employee name, IC number, contact number, position code, branch code, and net salary. So this is the relevant info that I put for the net salary. Okay, last is they ask for dummy tables. There is 3 dummy tables, which is 10 position of dummy table, 30 employees, and 5 branch. So I will start first with 10 position. Okay, there is 10 position, which is I put supervisor, manager, sales manager, accounting department, financing department, sales department, programmer, purchase department, and human resource. So here is the dummy table for position. Okay, I will continue for employees. Here is my dummy table that is meant for employees, which is there is employee ID, employee name, IC number, date of birth, gender, address, contact number, contact person, position code, branch code, salary, allowance, EPF, SOCSO, and here is their pictures and net salary. So lastly is we ask for branch. So here is the table for the branch, where I put branch ID, branch code, branch name, address, contact number, and manager name. So that's all from me. Thank you for this discussion. I hope you enjoy. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, basically for the second part of BL2, on the first question, question A, they asked us to briefly explain any 4 types of system testing. Basically, there are more than 50 types of system testing. So, I'm choosing the 4 best one. Okay, firstly is usability testing. This testing is mainly focused on the user's ease to use the application, flexibility in handling controls, and ability of the system to meet its objective. It also measure how easy to use and user-friendly a software system is, because regardless of your high tech, if users cannot use the system, it's completely useless. Next one is load testing. This test determine a system performance under a specific expected load. This purpose of load test is to determine how the application behave when multiple users access it simultaneously, because the goal of this test is to ensure smooth functioning of the software under real life load condition, because we don't want people complaining the system crash when too many people access it. Okay, next, so regression testing. Regression testing is defined as a type of software testing to confirm that a recent program or code change has not adversely affected existing features. Regression testing is nothing but a full of partial selection of already executed test cases which are re-executed to ensure existing functionalities work fine. This testing is done to make sure that the new code change should not have side effect on the existing functionalities. It ensures that the old code still work when the latest code change are done. Because we're gonna replace the old one, but if we completely disregard the old one, it gonna cost us establishing a new apps basically. I mean a new system. Okay, so lastly, the recovery testing. This test is done to demonstrate a software solution is reliable, trustworthy, and can successfully recoup from possibility crash. This testing verifies the system ability to recover from points of failure like software or hardware crashes, network failure, and etc. So that's all for my part. I think have anyone done the next one?
I will continue with my slide. Wait. Yeah.
Yes, Munirah.
Can you guys see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I will continue with question 2B. The question asks to explain the type of documentation that is essential for successful system operation and maintenance. Okay, so actually for this topic, it's quite long on our textbook. So I have Google and found this. So basically there are 4 documentation, which is program documentation, system documentation, operations documentation, and user documentation. So first, program documentation. This documentation describes the product that is being developed and provide instructions on how perform various tasks with it. For the second one, system documentation. This system documentation provides overview of the system and helps engineers to understand the underlying technology. And for the third one, operations documentation. It represents all documents that contains all the information needed for processing and distribute online, and also printed output. And the fourth one, user documentation. This type of documentation covers manuals that are mainly prepared for end users of the product and system administrators. Okay, so that's all from me.
Thank you, Moon.
Thank you, Munirah.
You're welcome. Right, wait. I will stop presenting.
Okay. Okay, so shall I start with my the next question? Can you see my slide?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, Amni.
Yes.
The topic is quite long, so please bear with me, okay?
Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay. So the question is, what is the system changeover? Discuss any three of the system changeover. System changeover is the process of putting the new information system online and retiring the old system. The changeover can be rapid or slow. It depends on the method that we use. Okay, the first method is direct cutover. Direct cutover causes the changeover from old system to the new system to occur immediately when the new system becomes operational. It is the least expensive changeover method because the IT group has operate and maintain only one system at a time. So there is not many system being operated at that time. The second one is parallel operation. It requires both the old and new information systems to operate fully for a specified period. The data is input into both systems and output generated by the new system is compared with the equivalent output from the old system. So it is being compared from the old system and the new system. It is low in risk because of if the new system doesn't work correctly, the company can use the old system as a backup. The last one is pilot operation. It is a method that involves implementing the complete new system at selected location. The implementation of pilot can reduce the risk of system failure compared with the direct cutover method. Okay. I'll proceed with the next question. This question asks the maintenance phase occurs once the system is operational. It includes implementation of changes that the system might undergo over a period of time. So explain three types of maintenance tasks. Okay, the first maintenance is corrective maintenance. This corrective maintenance diagnoses and corrects errors in operational system. All the maintenance work require careful analysis before making changes in order to avoid new problems. It's because we would like to avoid new problems. And then it also update the drivers and utilize remote control software for the problem diagnosis and resolution. Next is adaptive maintenance. This maintenance adds enhancement to operational system and makes the new system is easier to use. This arise from business environment changes such as new products, services, or new manufacturing technology. Okay, lastly is preventive maintenance. This requires analysis of areas where the trouble that likely to be occurred and often results increase in user satisfaction, decreased downtime. Okay, and this preventive maintenance competes for IT resources along with other projects and does not receive the high priority it deserves. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Amni.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you for cooperating with me. I'm sorry for all the troubles.
It's okay.
Bye.
So bye. We'll
Okay,
Bye.
guys.
now.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Okay.